Practical effects. Digital effects. Practical and digital combined. Deleted scenes. I'm losing my teeth. And more. I'm director David F. Sandberg, and let's talk about the making of Until Dawn. Until Dawn was an opportunity for me to direct a movie with lots of practical effects. I love digital visual effects and what they can do, but growing up on horror films from before digital effects existed, this was something I've been wanting to do since forever. All the practical effects in Until Dawn were done by Applied Arts Effects Studio. One of the things I looked forward to the most in the film was the exploding bodies. The way I wanted to do it was with simple cuts.
Didn't we all drink the water? I'm sorry.
You lock the camera down on a tripod, you shoot the actor, then you cut and place a dummy in the same position, fill it up with explosives, and blow it up. Now, because explosions happen really fast, I wanted to shoot them at 48 frames per second. Slow enough for you to see what happens, but fast enough where it doesn't feel like slow motion. To make sure that the cut from actor to dummy was seamless though, we also shot the actors in 48 frames per second, but threw out every other frame so it played back at 24 frames per second. When you change the frame rate of a camera, you also change the exposure, and this way the exposure and everything just stayed consistent. To not make the shots feel static, we framed the shots a little wider so we could add some handheld camera moves in post. When I made my storyboards, I figured a possible way to ease the transition from actor to dummy would be to have 1 or 2 frames of blood bursting out from underneath the clothes of the characters before cutting to the dummy, but it really wasn't necessary. The first explosion we did was Max outdoors.
Hey! Fuck you!
And we learned a lot from that. The first try, he didn't blow apart enough, and part of his torso landed on his still standing legs. So we had to patch him back up again, and this time really cut his clothes up so they wouldn't hold the body together. Because the legs hadn't been rigged to explode on this dummy, they were still standing, looking very stiff. So VFX had to give the legs a bit of movement and also paint out the wooden plate that he was standing on. There was quite a bit of bluish smoke from the explosives, but we changed the color to red so it looks a little more like blood mist or something. Having learned a bunch of stuff from that first explosion, the rest of them went really smoothly. Which was good, because we didn't have a lot of time on this movie and agreed that we would only give the explosives one chance. If something didn't work, it would have to be digital effects. Shooting the explosions like this meant a lot of preparation. I storyboarded everything, and because the dummies had to be made in the position they were going to be in, I had to commit to the poses long before I had even been on the set. So there's no changing your mind when you do things like this. And because these explosions created such a mess that they ruined the set, they had to be scheduled for the last days of the shoot. When Megan's belly grows, that's an inflatable prosthetic. Ready and action! Look! Okay, and cut. When the belly explodes, we shot it from an angle where you can't see that she's not wearing the inflatable belly anymore, and she's just lying on a tube shooting out blood using compressed air. For Megan's leg blowing up, we had a rig with fake legs. For Megan crawling around on the ground with just one leg, I figured we could do that practically with an amputee double. I put together this previs in Blender to show how we could do it.
Oh my god. Megan, what do we do?
Production did find a local amputee. She was taller and quite different from our actress, but I knew that you wouldn't notice any of that in the moment. With all the gruesome stuff that happens in the movie, what got the biggest reaction from the crew on set was seeing our double with the mangled leg prosthetic. It looked extremely convincing. Megan goes through a lot in this movie. For her head getting smashed, I wanted her face to get bloodier and bloodier. I figured that with the right angle, we could accomplish this with hidden cuts. So we'd shoot a face smash, cut, send Yi Young away for makeup, then line everything up again, do another face smash, cut, send away for more makeup, and repeat. For a quick proof of concept, Lotta and I shot a video where post-it notes on my face would represent more and more blood. I was a little worried that we wouldn't be able to line things up perfectly, so I figured we're probably going to have to do some blending with VFX. But it worked perfectly with just cuts. Now, in the final edit of the film, there is some cutting away so we don't stay on her face the whole time, but originally it looked like this. I mean, unless you look really carefully, you can't really tell that that's just editing.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. Joblo remains an independent company, and we appreciate all of your support.